Okay, good day everyone. So we have here graphing the circle in a rectangular plane. Okay, so on our last video, we have learned on how to determine the standard form of the equation of the circle given a radius and a point in the circle. So this time we are going to graph the circle in a rectangular plane. So how are we going to graph a circle? So if we are going to have our center and a radius, we know exactly on how to sketch the graph of our circle. Okay, so first, how are we going to graph our circle if the given equation is in the general form? Okay, so in our first video, you have learned there the illustration of different conics, or have also shown there the standard form, the general form of the conics. So circle in general form have the equation x squared plus y squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. So from the general form of the equation, which is ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. So we have this one for standard form, general form of the equation when the center is found at hk. So we have this one, or we can choose either one of these. Okay, so let's have an example. Okay, so identify the center and the radius of the circle with the given equation in each item. Sketch its graph and indicate the center. So for example, example number 1. Okay, example number 1. Okay, let's say x squared plus y squared minus 6x equals 7. Okay, so from this we're going to group the set of expression with variable x and separate this one to the expression with variable y. So we have this one, x squared and 6x. So we're going to have this one. Okay, x squared minus 6x. Okay, let us put a parenthesis on this one. Okay, so we're going to complete the square. So let's leave this one for a moment. So plus y squared equals 7. So this one is composed of two expressions. So we're going to make this one is as a perfect square. So the term is completing the square. So we need to find out the numbers which, if you are going to add it to its own, or the number that if you are going to add or subtract it to the same number, you will exactly have a negative 6, or the sum is negative 6. So what is the number which will give you a sum of negative 6 if you are going to add it on the same number? So we have negative 3. Because negative 3 if you are going to add it to itself or subtract it to itself, we will be having, we're going to have an answer of negative 6. So therefore our number here is negative 3. So negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 3. So this will be the third term. If we are going to multiply this number, the third term will be the number. So negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So is it that negative times negative will give us positive? So 3 times 3 is 9. So positive 9. Okay, you got it? So sum, product. The sum of the same number, product of the same number. So the same number is negative 3. So the sum of negative 3, if you are going to add it to itself as negative 3, is negative 6. Okay, the product of negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So therefore, if we're going to add here 9, we're also going to add here 9. Okay. Understood? Okay, so let's have this one. So if we're going to factor this trinomial, this is what we call a perfect square trinomial. So this is a x. So the number that we have found earlier is negative 3. So x minus 3 squared. So perfecting the square so that it will become a perfect square trinomial, and then we're going to factor this one. So x minus 3 squared. So plus y squared equals 7 plus 9 is 16. So therefore, we have now our standard form of the equation. So if we have this one, so center is at h and k. So if this is our h, so we don't have a k. So our k is 0. So our center is, our h is 3. So since it is negative here, we are just going to change the sign here. So positive 3. Our h is positive 3 and our center is, our k is 0 because we don't have a pair of expression in the y. So 3 and 0 is our center. Our radius is, this one is our r squared. R squared equals 16. So radius is square root of 16. So radius is equals 4. Okay. So you get that? Okay, so now from this, we can now sketch the graph of our circle x squared plus y squared equals 7. So let us try to sketch the graph of our circle. So let's have this one. Okay. So this is our positive x. This is our negative x side. This is our positive y. This is our negative y. So simply, the horizontal line is our x and the vertical line is our y. So we have here the coordinates 3, 0. So this is our x, this is our y. So count, for our x we have 3. So count 3. So 1, 2, 3. So for our y 0, so we don't have to move any any units up or down because our y is 0. So our center will be found here. So this is our center. So C is at 3, 0, 0. So we all know that the radius is the distance from your center to any point in the circle. So radius. So we're going to find out our circle. So we're going to sketch our circle. So we are going to move 4 units right, 4 units left, 4 units up, 4 units down for us to find out the circle or to sketch our circle. So to find out the sides of the points of a circle, we're going to move 4 units right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is one of the sides of the circle. So if we're going to get the coordinates, let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 for our x and 0 for our y. So one of the points of the circle in the circle is 7, 0. So we're also going to get the radius from the center to the upper part of the circle. So let us move 4 units up. So this is our x. So for our y, we have to move 4 units up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the other the other sides of our circle. So medyo kiwi ang atong graph, so i-adjust na lang karon. Okay, so we also need to move 4 units left. So 1 2 3 4. Okay, so but first let us try to get the coordinates of these points in the circle. So this is 1 2 3. Okay, so our x is 3 and our y is 1 2 3 4. So 4, 3 and 4. So this is the coordinates of these points, of this point. So the coordinates to the left, okay, 0 is our x and our y is, okay, negative 1. So we have here our x here is negative 1 and our y is 0. So this is the coordinates of this point in the circle. Okay, so we're going to move 4 units down. So 1 2 3 4. This one. So positive 3, negative 4, since the lower part of the graph is negative. So negative, okay, 3, negative 4. Okay, so our circle will look like this. So it is look like an ellipse on the illustration because our graph is not that perfect. So our the sketch of our circle is not that much of a circle, but if you are going to sketch it in the graphing paper, it will give you an exact circle. So this is now the sketch of the graph of our circle. So the first thing that we are going to do is to complete the square of a general form of the equation, then complete the square, then factor, and then that's the time that we're going to have our center, or we're going to find out our h and our k in the equation, also our radius. So if we're going to have our center and radius, it is now the time for us to graph the circle. Okay, so let's have here example number 2. So x squared plus y squared minus 14x plus 2y is equals negative 14. Okay. So as I have said earlier ago, we need to separate the expression with variable x to the expression with variable y. So we have here x, for our x we have x squared and negative 14x. So x squared, negative 14x. So let's leave a space here for we are going to complete the square later on. So y squared, we have also y here and 2y here. So y squared plus 2y. So leave a space, equals negative 14. So we're going to complete the square here. So what is the number that would give you a sum of negative 14 when you add it to itself? Okay, so the number is 7 or negative 7. So number is negative 7 because negative 7, when you add it to negative 7, that will give you a negative 14. So we need the same number for this one, so that we could have a perfect square trinomial. So the number is negative 7. So after we have known that it is negative 7, we can write it down here. So x minus 7. So the product of negative 7 multiplied to the negative 7 is positive 49. So this will be plus 49. So if we have add a 49 here, we're also going to add 49 here, plus 49. Is that correct? Okay, good. Okay. So y squared plus 2y. So what is the number that when you are going to add it to itself will give you a sum of positive 2? So we will have it as 1. So when you add 1 to itself, it will give you the answer of positive 2. So this is y plus 2. Or sorry, y plus 1. Okay, so the number is 1. Okay, so 1 multiplied by 1 is positive 1. So if we have add here 1, we're also going to add to the other side of our equation, positive 1. Okay, so negative 14 plus 49 is, okay, right, 35 plus 1 is 36. So this is now the standard form of our equation. So we have our center at, our h is 7. So our k is, so this is 1 here, so it is understood that our k is negative 1. Okay. Just change the sign from this quantity to this quantity. So if your h here is negative, it will become positive on the actual value. Okay, if it is positive here, it will be negative. Okay, so our radius is, okay, so this 36 is our r squared. So r squared is 36. So r equals square root of 36. Or we're going to square root the both sides. So this will be eliminated. So that is how. So r equals square root of 36 is 6. Okay. So from this one, we have our h and k, or our center. We have also our radius, or our r. So we can now sketch the graph of our equation, of our circle. Okay. So let's sketch. I'm sorry for the lines that I'm writing because I don't have any graphing paper here. So our hk is at 7, negative 1. So this is y, this is x. So positive 7, negative 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So positive 7, negative 1. So it will be down here. So negative, this is negative 1, this is positive 7. So this is the center. So center is at 7, negative 1. Okay. So we're going to move 6 units for our r is, or our radius is 6. So 6 units right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is now our one of the point in the circle. So 6 units up. So from here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be here. Okay, so we don't need to put the values of x or y anymore, or our coordinates. So let's just have the sketch. Okay, so 6 units left. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be here. Okay, 6 units down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be located in here. So our circle now will look like this. So this is just a sketch. So it looks like more a circle than our first example. So this is now the sketch of our circle. So the circle is x squared plus y squared minus 14x plus 2y equals negative 14. So from the general form to standard form. So if we have it standard form, we already have our h and k. And we also have our radius, so that we can get the sketch of our graph. So if the given is already the center, like for example at 0, 0, and the radius at equals to 2, so you don't need to have a solving anymore. So we're going to directly sketch the graph of this one. So center is at 0, 0, so we all know that the center or the origin at 0, 0 is in the middle point of our graph. So the radius is 2. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So this is our circle looks like. Okay. So that's all for this lesson. Thank you.